All right, everybody, welcome to the webinar, Dough for What You Know, how to turn your specialized knowledge or skill into a $10,000 hobby or $100,000 plus business in the next 12 months. I'm Fran Harris. Thank you for joining me. Want to just jump right into this with you guys and just tell you who Dough for What You Know is for. It's for authors, speakers, experts, coaches, entrepreneurs, anybody with the desire to help people solve their hardest problem, achieve their wildest dream, heal their deepest hurt, lose their heaviest baggage, lead their biggest life, make more money, save more time. If you are about making someone's life better, making someone's life easier, then Dough for What You Know is for you, and you are at the right place at the right time. So who is Dough for What You Know for? Again, in general, it's prosperity-minded individuals who believe they have something to offer the world and who understand that being paid for that gift is a simple exchange. Let me repeat that. I'm looking for prosperity-minded individuals who believe they have something to offer the world, a skill, a talent, a genius, experience, expertise. And you understand that when you're paid for that gift, when you're paid for that contribution, that is a simple exchange. All right, so who's this not for? Dough for What You Know is not for folks looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not about that. This is not a quick fix. Even though you may experience immediate income and a windfall of money if you follow the things I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not for tire kickers. It's not for Debbie Downers. It's not for skeptical Sams. And it's not for folks who are long on talk and short on action. So in the next 45 minutes or so, probably shorter, longer, depending on the tangents I started to go off on, and it may be shorter. But for the next few minutes, I'm going to share how I've been able to build a multi-million-dollar brand, leveraging nothing more than my expertise, smart work, relationship building, and hustle. I'm also going to share, I already said that, I'm going to share, so bear repeating, I'm going to share how I've been able to build a multi-million-dollar brand, leveraging nothing more than my expertise, smart work, relationship building, and hustle. I'm Fran Harris. Most of you know that if you've arrived on this page because you got something from me, you're on my list from franharris.com or Facebook or Twitter, then you're familiar with me. If you're not, welcome to the webinar, and let me tell you a little bit more about me. As you see on this page, there's lots of multi-billion and gazillion-dollar brands. I'm a television host. I'm a life and business coach who's appeared on over 100 media outlets, mostly television and radio. And when I break those down, mostly television, to talk about the things that transform people's lives. I've been on CNN, CNBC, Fox Business News, Oprah Radio's network, The Big Idea, The Today Show last week, Good Morning America. I beat out over 15,000 applicants in the Good Morning America Advice Guru contest this past spring. I was the host of my own show on HGTV, which is in over 100 million homes, the number one lifestyle and life improvement channel in the nation. And again, I was on the Today Show on NBC, but I was also on a reality show this past spring called America's Next Great Restaurant. I'm also very proud to have been the co-founder of the Black Millionaire Summit, the premier business and wealth building conference and summit for African Americans. So my background pretty much for the last 10 or 15 years has been on television. And I started on television as a sports announcer with ESPN. Again, this webinar is about Dough for What You Know, right? So I started on ESPN, sharing my knowledge of women's basketball. That's how I got started. And so when I started putting this seminar together, I said, this is it's been such an amazing journey for me. And as I look at the icons on the screen right now, and you're looking at those with me, I think every single opportunity I've had to be on television or radio has been to do one thing, and that's to share my expertise. And every single instance that I've gotten paid for that on television, it's been because I've gotten paid dough for what I know. So you are in the right place. All right, my philosophy is very simple. Be generous with your knowledge. Don't trade time for money. Solve and serve. So solve a problem and serve people. And always remember that results and outcomes rule. They matter more than anything. My promise to you is I'm going to share with you how I was able to turn a 60-minute teleseminar into $12,000. I did that with my Women's Millionaire Challenge about 7 or 8 years ago. I'm going to show you how I got paid $5,000 for 1 hour of business coaching before I was calling myself a business coach, and how I got a last-minute $2,500 speaking gig just this past week. So those are some of the things I hope to be sharing with you, and I say I hope because we're going to go through several slides. I just don't want to forget to share those things with you because those are going to really illustrate how you can get paid dough for what you know. So the agenda. We're going to talk about what an expert is, how does someone become an expert, the difference between an expert and a go-to expert, how do experts make money, 3 tactics you can use to start earning money as an expert in the next 7 days, and if you're really ambitious and conscientious, in the next few days, tomorrow if you want, and how you can get paid with me to become a highly paid expert. So what do you think the University of Texas at Austin, that's my alma mater, what do you think the University of Texas at Austin would say to me if I walked down to the registrar's office and said, I didn't get anything out of my $50,000 undergraduate degree, or I didn't get anything out of my $50,000 plus graduate degree? What do you think UT would say to me? Well, they would probably look at me and say, have you lost your mind? I mean, we're not here to guarantee that you get something out of your education, your time here. We're here to expose you to a world-class education. We're here to put you in the classroom to become everything that you want to become. So I bring that up because I want you to understand that the value of this complimentary educational seminar with me today is at least $1,000. And that's the minimum I think you should expect to make in the next 6 to 12 months if you follow just a smidgen, just a morsel, just 1/30th of the system I'm going to share with you today. But ultimately, even though I'm offering you a 6-figure education, who's in charge of your results? You. I can't jump through the computer, can't come through the phone, can't handhold you all the way through. At the end of the day, you are responsible for your results. I'm simply exposing you to the exact same blueprint, same system that I've used to build my business. So let's jump into it. Now, what's an expert? An expert is someone who has very specialized knowledge or experience in a particular subject. That's pretty much it. That's kind of definition of what an expert is. It's someone who has very specialized knowledge or experience in a particular subject. Here's a catch though. An expert is not someone who knows everything about that subject. I don't think anyone knows everything about their area of expertise. I played basketball at the highest level possible. I played high school, college, overseas, the WNBA. I played Team USA, alternate on the Olympic team. But I don't know everything about basketball. I know a lot about basketball to call myself an expert, but I don't know everything, and I don't need to be called an expert. And always when I'm speaking about this in large groups and even when I'm doing retreats and stuff, I say to people, how does somebody become an expert? And somebody will invariably say, you just start calling yourself an expert. I go, exactly. You just say, I've got enough experience and expertise, real life experience out there to call myself an expert. And that, my friends, is exactly how it happens. Now, of course, there are things you have to back up. There are things you have to have in your arsenal. There are experiences and levels of expertise that you have to be able to really have credibility as an expert. But the truth of the matter is, anybody who knows something about something could really call themselves an expert. So how much do you need to know, though, to call yourself an expert? Let's break it down to the bare bones. What do you need to know? How much do you need to know to be able to call yourself an expert? And the answer to that is it depends on your market. It depends on your target market. If you aspire to, let's say, teach young kids to start their own businesses, then you may be able to, or even beginning entrepreneurs to start their own businesses, then your level of expertise only has to be to that level. In other words, even if you haven't built a billion-dollar empire, there are some things that you can still teach beginning entrepreneurs. So the answer to how much do you need to know to call yourself an expert is going to always be predicated on who you're marketing your services to, okay? So let me ask you this. How many of you are parents? How many of you are in a relationship, have played sports, have lost a loved one, know how to sing, you play the piano, you can surf, you can ski, you can make furniture, you're great at math, you're great at science, you can cook, you know how to get publicity, you've built $1 million business. How many of you, if you're looking at this screen right now, how many of you fall into at least one of those categories? Or 2 or 3 of those categories? Take out a sheet of paper real quick, and I'm going to show you how someone becomes an expert. Go ahead, take out a sheet of paper. I want to show you how someone becomes an expert. If I called you right now and I asked you to talk to me about a subject you know a lot about, I say, okay, Charlie, talk to me about something you know a lot about. You get to pick it. What would you talk to me about? I want you to write that down. Write down the subject or subjects, plural, that you would talk to me about for 1 hour if all you could do was talk about a subject that you knew a lot about. Okay, everybody.